There are over 16,000 ingredients out there being used in personal care and cosmetic products, so here's every single one of them.
Glycerin, xanthan gum, denat alcohol.
Just kidding, I'm not trying to make you fall asleep that soon. But out of those 16,000 ingredients, you're here for the top 8 or so in skincare with a few honorable mentions. So buckle up, save this video, because this is going to be your reference guide on almost every and any skincare concern that you want to target and address in the future. Wow, this actually would have been so handy when I was first getting into skincare. Starting not in alphabetical order, but with A, and that is going to be AHAs, also known as alpha hydroxy acids. This is a skincare ingredient that I've used in my skincare routine for ages. I don't use it anymore, but I do dabble in it occasionally. Anyway, alpha hydroxy acids. They originate from fruits, milk, as well as sugar. Little fun fact for you. So in terms of AHAs, they include glycolic acid, which is the one I have here, as well as lactic acid. Now, in terms of their strengths, because there are different strengths, you have glycolic acid, which is one of the strongest AHAs, and then you also have lactic acid, which is a more gentle, and so it would be great if you have sensitive skin. Though, important to note, with consistent and proper use, you will still see noticeable results from the less strong, let's say potent AHA. You know, sometimes the skin just doesn't like the stronger version. Maybe I'm speaking from personal experience, but in that case, you just have to use the less strong version. So there are loads of benefits that you get by using an AHA. So essentially, they exfoliate the skin, meaning they shed your dead skin cells or the excess dead skin cells, and by doing this, they'll help improve and smooth your skin texture, as long as you're consistent. But how do you know if using AHAs in your skincare routine for your skin is a good option for you? Well, number one, they're good for all skin types. And number two, everyone can do with a bit of exfoliation. But especially if you have dry skin that wants, those anti-aging properties in a product, then this would be for you. Fine lines and wrinkles. Plus, also, they have some hydrating properties, which is also a plus as well. But what is a guide, really, if there's no products? So let's get into that. So, on the budget side, we have the ordinary toning solution, 7% glycolic acid. Now, I haven't used this one, but I like the ingredients and I think it's a solid choice for an AHA. Also, if you get skincare videos on your feed, you would have seen this product, or it's probably referred to as the multi-solution and multi-use product, but you see it being used for underarms, for back and chest acne, for your face. Honestly, you could probably even use it on the bottom of your feet for that hard, crusty skin. Then on the other side, say the luxury side, we have the Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos Night Serum. Now, in terms of this one, I have used it in the past, and I did find it to be quite effective. It also has quite nice packaging, so personally, what more could you want? But when it comes to skincare, if you have been in skincare a while, you'll know that it just comes to whether the product works for you or not, and the price doesn't really have the biggest indication of whether it will all the time, though sometimes it will. But if any of you have tried any of these products and you found them to be effective, or you have some critiques about them, let me know in the comments. Now, in terms of storage of your AHA products, you want to make sure that these are away from direct sunlight, and also that the room they're stored in remains a steady temperature. Otherwise, their effectiveness can be tampered with. Yeah, I know, it can be a bit tedious, but as they say, vanity has its price. And believe it or not, because AHAs are so effective, they were actually first used in chemical peels. But regardless, these were first used to treat skin concerns and conditions such as psoriasis, as well as hyperpigmentation. Next, and almost everyone knows this one, kind of like the person who had 1 million plus snap score back in the day, and that thing that we're talking about is beta hydroxy acid, also known as BHA. And what I mean by this, everyone knows it, is the most popular one, which is often used, and that is salicylic acid, which actually originates from the willow bark tree. Quite the tree, if you ask me. And this ingredient is great for blackheads, blemishes, and breakouts. And it's also an exfoliant like AHA is, but they do work in slightly different ways. And the easy way to think about this is BHAs are oil soluble, meaning they work both on the surface of the skin as well as in the pores, which is why they're great for blackheads, breakouts, and blemishes, whereas AHAs work on the surface of the skin, which is why they're great for, anti-aging skin concerns. So like I said before, AHAs for aging concerns, and then BHAs for, blackheads, breakouts, and blemishes. Now, who is this exfoliant for? Now, everyone can do with a bit of exfoliation, but you would probably tailor this one specifically to you, and it would be great for you if you have, oily or breakout prone skin. Now, for the budget version of the BHA ingredient, you can find it in serums, cleansers, but for the budget version, we're going with the Paula's Choice 2% BHA exfoliant. Definitely a very popular one if you have skincare videos on your feed. But then moving on to the more luxurious version, and by that I mean, the more expensive version, we have from Sunday Riley, we have a facial oil, and that is the UFO one, which retails for around £70. And so you guys know, because we've been going over exfoliants, honestly, who doesn't want a skincare product to work instantly? But especially for exfoliants, because they can take a while to see noticeable results on your skin. You know, they work gradually, especially if you have a lighter exfoliant, like we said before in the AHAs category with the lactic acid. But you want to be patient, but you also want to have some consistency in there as well. So I'd recommend around 2 to 3 times a week you want to exfoliate. Even if you use retinol, alternate the days. Also, a great way to see whether you're actually getting results with an ingredient or a product, which is super underrated and more people need to talk about this, is taking before videos. The feeling of seeing objective results is actually too good. So if you're looking for a sign to do that, here it is. Right, number 3, peptides. We're getting into the good stuff right now. So what are they? Textbook definition. Yeah, how about an easier definition? Let's go with that. So really, these are for anti-aging purposes, and they're so great at, helping to increase the skin's firmness, also fine lines and wrinkles, help reduce the appearance of those, as well as speeding up wound healing process. Now, this is a bit of a tricky ingredient though, in terms of its permeability, so you've got to choose the right one or ones. And you know what that means? Another product recommendation time. I think we could do with a jingle for that segment. Anyway, for the budget side of this peptide ingredient and product, we have the Greek and Gorgeous Power Blush. And then on the other side, we have a product from a brand that most of you would recognize, and a lot of good things have been said about it, and that's Medicate, which is called the Medicate Liquid Peptide Serum. And this is a lot more expensive than the other, but I'd say it's quite reasonable for an anti-aging product, and that's £55. So originally peptides were used in medicine before they were used in skincare market, though they are still used in medicine, and they usually help with muscle growth as well as being used for wound healing, which to be fair you'll find with a lot of skincare products out there, though this is quite reassuring. So essentially they used to be used for a lot more severe things rather than what they're used for now, which is anti-aging, redness, and those sorts of things. Next we have hyaluronic acid. This is such an OG product, probably one of the first ingredients I used in my skincare routine not too long ago, to be fair. Really shows how time flies. But anyways, let's talk about it. Now, any video you see about hyaluronic acid, in my opinion, 99% of the time, it'll mention one of the two things. First being, it's a naturally occurring substance in the body, and number 2, that it can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Now that sounds quite cool, but let's see, does this translate into skin benefits? Number 1, first benefit about hyaluronic acid, and kind of its purpose is to give you deep hydration. So it accomplishes that. Just make sure you always apply a moisturizer afterwards, otherwise it could actually give you the opposite effect and dry your skin out. But next up, it can also give you a plumping effect, which is why you'll see hyaluronic acid being a popular skincare ingredient to be used in conjunction with others in anti-aging skincare routines. Now it's best for all skin types, kind of like a lot of other products, but especially good for dry, dehydrated skin, as long as you always apply a moisturizer afterwards. Now when it comes to products for hyaluronic acid, I like to recommend The Ordinary for a lot of the staple ones like hyaluronic acid, and because they're also inexpensive and affordable, a lot of people can try them out. So I'm gonna have to recommend The Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid 2% serum with B5, and this is for the budget version. Now in terms of our luxury bougie category, we've got the SkinCeuticals. You've probably seen their vitamin C serum. This one is a bit more affordable, and it's their B5 gel, and this is quite a lot more than the other one, but it's not the bougie and luxury side for nothing. And fun fact, so obviously hyaluronic acid can plump your skin from the outside, but did you know that it can also plump your skin from within? And you're probably asking, what does that mean? Well, it can help you achieve almost any look you want or desire. And well, that comes in the form of an injectable, and you know this as fillers. Number 5, and I think this is an ingredient that quite a lot of people could really benefit from if they added it to their skincare routine. It's quite a popular one as well, and that's niacinamide. This is actually such a good skincare ingredient, and I'm glad that it's not overrated or underrated. I'd say it's about rated exactly how it is. And that's because niacinamide has a lot of benefits for your skin. So number 1, it's anti-inflammatory, meaning this will help with your redness, but it also help with the skin barrier function, improving it, and also it will help control oil production. I guess there just isn't much else you'd want from a single skincare ingredient and product. Or wait, maybe. Stick around and we'll get to the bottom of that. So is niacinamide a good fit for you? Well, it's great for acne prone skin, but also sensitive skin as well. And of course, as always, we're gonna run through 2 products for niacinamide. So making another appearance for the budget version, kind of solidifying itself in this list, we have The Ordinary, and that is the 10% niacinamide with 1% zinc. And this is super affordable, hence why it's in the budget version, but even then it's quite affordable. And on the other hand, a very popular brand, you probably know them by their 2% BHA liquid solution exfoliant. The one that was in my hand as well, if you caught on, and that's the Paula's Choice 10% Niacinamide Booster. And with niacinamide, we also get the added reassurance of it being used for quite a significant amount of time back in the 1970s. It was used in dermatology specifically to treat redness, rosacea, as well as acne. But regardless, I've noticed significant benefits by using niacinamide, and my skin handles it well, which is why it's good for sensitive skin. So this is definitely something to look out for if you don't have it in your routine at the moment. Also, on that note, you may actually see niacinamide in a variety of supplements that you can take orally, and that's because it was also used to treat hyperpigmentation in the 1970s. Also, actually, because aging and anti-aging is one of the biggest concerns that a lot of people have, and they have the most disposable income, therefore it makes the market share the biggest for skincare. It's actually being studied for its role in certain functions to reverse or at least significantly help with signs of aging skin. Right, remember what I said about insane ingredients? Well, this next one might just be too good. Some sort of sorcery going on. But you know what? I'm actually not complaining. And that is retinol, also known as vitamin A. So this guy right here promotes cell turnover as well as collagen production, and this is what makes it the GOAT for anti-aging purposes. So it helps fight wrinkles, help to reduce the appearance of them, but it can also help with skin renewal as well as even to treat acne. So depending on the percentage, its potency of the retinol, it's usually geared towards a more mature skin, one that wants to help with anti-aging, but it's also still used for acne because it does help with that. Now, the first retinol that I started to use consistently and see results with, which wasn't actually that long ago, guys, I'm still quite young, was this Revolution Skincare London Retinol Intense 0.5% Retinol Serum. I also noticed this retinol really lasts quite a while, which is why there's no better place to put it than the budget option for the product recommendation for retinol. So I've used this product and I saw results with it, but it's important to remember two things when it comes to retinol skincare, but retinol especially. Number one, just because it works for someone else doesn't mean it will work for you. But what I meant by especially retinol, well, this is a 0.5% serum. Now this you wouldn't want to use at the beginning, or at least you'd want to give a lower percentage a try. That's because your skin needs to adjust to this, and you've probably heard of purging, and that is where your skin becomes all red, irritated, perhaps flaky, and even some breakouts in there. But to avoid that or lessen the chances, you want to start low and then increase the percentage you're using over time, as well as the frequency over your week. So let's say you were starting once or twice a week, then you can increase that to 3 or 4 times a week after the first couple weeks of using a retinol. And then you guys can rake in all the benefits with the least amount of chance of, getting that irritation, flakiness, breakouts, and all those sorts of skin issues you don't want. It's coming from someone who learned the hard way. Then on the other hand, for our luxurious category for retinol, we have the Sunday Riley A+ High Dose Retinol Serum. Now, I haven't tried this one, but I would like to eventually. I'll probably come around to it. I've heard good things, and I would recommend it for this luxury category. And funnily enough, retinol was used for acne in the 1970s. It seems like the 1970s was really the year, or the decade for, innovation and cutting edge skincare. I wonder when the next decade is going to be where we come out with an insane skincare ingredient. I don't know. What do we say? What decade do we think next where we're going to get insane skincare ingredients? Also, quickly to note, you've got to be careful when it comes to shipping retinol. Or for that matter, retinoid, retinaldehyde, retinol, all of that family, and that's because retinol is a rather unstable skincare ingredient. So if it's exposed to an excessive amount of heat or light in transit, then that can degrade it and reduce its efficacy, which would be annoying, especially after seeing the prices of some of the retinols on the market. And with that said, that brings us to number 7, which is ceramides. Now, you get these in skincare products, but similar to hyaluronic acid, they also occur in your skin, but in this case, they occur in your skin's barrier in the form of lipids, also known as fats. So, if you put one and one together, I'd say they're pretty good to have in your skincare routine. So, ceramides have a ton of uses in skincare, but I would specifically use them if you want to increase your hydration, get deep moisture locked into your skin, and also if you want to improve and strengthen your skin barrier. So, for that reason, ceramides are recommended for more dry and mature skin, but also sensitive skin, because at the end of the day, the damaged skin barrier can lead to sensitivity, so it helps to build and fix that. In terms of product recommendations, you don't need to spend both an arm and a leg on these ones because they're relatively affordable, both of them, but I still got one for each category. So starting off in the budget one. Now, this is the brand that you've probably seen around for multiple reasons. Number one, their transparency. They always explain their ingredients and have all of them on the back of their products. And number two, their packaging color. Like, how could you miss this? But either way, I'd say this is the budget version for ceramide treatment, and if you decide to give it a go, let me know and how it works for you. Next, I'm surprised this type of skincare is first making an appearance all the way down to number 7, but we have a Korean skincare brand, and that is Dr. Jart, specifically the Dr. Jart Plus Ceramidin Cream. Hopefully I said that right. Now, one of the main things I look for in a product to help repair my skin barrier, if the product is too thick in texture, it's going to feel greasy, oily, and especially if you have breakout prone and oily skin, you won't want that. Granted, in the winter with the winds, the cold temperature, the loss of moisture in the air, you probably will want to have a thicker moisturizer, but to a certain extent, you do want to have one that, feels lightweight, not too oily and greasy. So those are some of the things I'm looking out for when it comes to making these product recommendation lists for you guys. Now, chances are they won't work for all of you, but if they do work for you, that's great. And if not, then you at least have an idea of the ingredients on the back, what won't work for you, what you believe works for you, but also some things to stay away from. Now, because ceramides are so good at helping that skin barrier, you'll also see them being used in medicine to treat skin conditions such as eczema as well as psoriasis, or at least calm them down without hopefully too many flare-ups. And when it comes to transporting ceramides, let's say you're going on vacation or you're moving to the Amazon forest, starting a new life, joining a tribe and whatnot, they should hold up as they're quite stable. Though, as always, still try and make sure to keep them out of direct sunlight and also not too hot as well. And last but not least, of the main products, not yet the honorable mentions, we have vitamin C. And some of you probably thought I forgot about this one, but nope, here we are. Some may even say that vitamin C is a retinol equivalent of the day, and there's a chance that some might be me. But either way, let me know if you agree, because vitamin C, as you're going to see, is an amazing product. Well, ingredient, but you get the point. It really is an excellent antioxidant. Number one, it can help to brighten the skin. It can also help to fade dark spots, hyperpigmentation, and on top of that, it can promote collagen production. Tell me that isn't overpowered. Though, as I've mentioned before, the most potent version is not the fastest way and road to get to the best results, because you can still get similar, if not the same results with the less potent version, as long as you use it consistently and also correctly. But obviously, if a stronger version of vitamin C is tolerated by your skin, then by all means, use that one. Now, the less potent version is usually suitable for all skin types, but I would say if you have dry, uneven skin texture, dull texture, then this would definitely be a skincare product to target those concerns. Now, vitamin C is one of my favorite skincare products. I use it every morning, and of course, that means that I would have tried a lot of products, but I've narrowed it down. It was hard to the budget version and the luxury version. So, number one, for the budget version, we are going with the vitamin C brightening ampoule from Common Labs, which is actually a sister brand to Skin 1004. It's a Korean skincare brand. You probably will recognize some of their products, and this is their vitamin C brightening ampoule. And the reason why I'm choosing this ampoule as opposed to a serum is because a serum actually is more concentrated, it's more potent, and therefore the results you'll get will typically be better. And to be honest, this product is really well tolerated. I've used some vitamin C that as soon as I put it on my skin will get red and irritated, but with this one, I don't get any signs, both visibly and me feeling it, of my skin not tolerating it. Now, for the luxury side, I believe this product actually made it onto my top 5, if not top 10, but definitely it was up there, and that is the Murad Environmental Shield Vita C Glycolic Serum. My main takeaways from this product is that it is very effective. I noticed results quite quickly, but I did still wait, for the skin cycle to finish, but I also noticed that it gives a nice glow to the skin. So with some vitamin C, the point is to brighten the skin tone. I actually don't notice that with all vitamin C serums that I've used. Just make sure to note that if you do decide to invest in a more expensive version, or even let's say the affordable version, that vitamin C is highly unstable, so you do want to be precautious when it comes to where you store it and how you travel or ship it even. We made it, y'all, to the honorable mentions, and first on that list, number 9, we have Bacachil, also known as the retinol alternative, but without all of the potential side effects like redness, sensitivity, and irritation. And if Bacachil is a retinol alternative but with a lower chance of side effects, then I think we've got something good here. Now, more specifically, it's a natural and also plant-derived alternative to retinol. Now, bear with me while I pronounce this. It is the Soralia coralifolia plant that it is derived from. This ingredient is best for sensitive skin that wants that anti-aging results, but without obviously the effects of retinol or that potentially retinol could have. And it's also traditionally been used in Ayurvedic medicine for healing wounds as well as skin conditions. And last but not least on our list, we have tranexamic acid. Essentially, it's a synthetic amino acid which isn't part of the AHA family or BHA family, but it does help to reduce hyperpigmentation as well as melasma, making it really good for uneven skin tones. It's also often compared to azelaic acid, which I'm actually currently using in my skincare routine at the moment, and I'm confident that I've seen results from it. Though I'd like to give this tranexamic acid a try, so help a man out and give me some product recommendations for the ones that you use, after all the ones I gave for you guys. And that brings us to the list of both the main as well as the honorable mentions. Now, I'm confident that if you have watched this through, you will find something that can benefit you and your skincare routine. But as always, if I did miss anything or you would like to see something new, let me know that video idea in the comments. And eventually, as these videos are taking quite a while for some reason, I'll get back to you on the reason, which I hope will be coming out more consistently. And as always, thank you for watching. Next video is going to be an exciting one. I've already recorded it. I just need to edit it. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you obviously in that video.